Good morning. This is the buy sell short popper scan video from Monday, January 9th. First off is the stock whose symbol I don't want to say. After going BK on Wednesday, nice little dead cat bounce over the last couple of days, but it's on the pop scan, a break of 11 cents. Could give a bounce back to that 15-cent area. So probably one to keep an eye on just because it did come on the pop scan. MVIS had a very nice break on Friday on heavy volume. We got as high as 44 cents, but back and forth action throughout the day. So next breakout level, 45 cents, 50, then 55 plus is what we're looking for. Again, this is a CES play. These plays really should start to heat up this week. And still waiting for those Apple rumors that always manage to get started around CES every year for MVAS. Next up, we've got BPAX. This was a biotech that got decimated mid-December on bad trial data. Target, breakout here would be 55 cents, and a move to 60 to 75 cents typically is where these go on such breaks. If you're so inclined, you could probably enter this one small on a break of 50 cents, with your stops at 46. It did get a positive MACD cross on Friday. Stochastics look good here, and if we really start to see these small caps do their January bounces this week, this one could be a stock that benefits. Another bio that is on the pop scan is CYCC. Been pretty active over the last couple of days. Big intraday moves. 60 cents breakout will give us a move up there to that 67, 70 cents area. If you jumped in on a 67 break, I would look to place my stops 56, 57 area. SATC. Now, this is a stock. It's been pretty frustrating over the last month. They've had some issues. They've got large funds selling shares that got them cheap. They're doing restructuring. But as you can see, the chart is similar to what we saw on ACPW over the last couple of weeks before its big breakout at 65 cents. Breakout on SATC would be 66 cents. Target would be a move to that 50-day moving average up there at 77, 80 cents. So definitely one to keep an eye on this week. ANX, cash rich, frustrating biotech play. I believe sort of the same situation as we've seen in CYTR, which explains why it's been unable to move. But 65 to 67 cents is where the logical breakout would be on this one. Now, on the list, I've got a 67 to 72 cent break because it may end up taking a break through that 50-day moving average to really see some big upside moves. So I would definitely place an alert on this stock for 67 to 70 cents. If it got up to that 70 cents area, maybe worth a nice move, because if it gets a break of that, especially on positive news, it could be a big mover. AVII, nice little pop on Friday. We jumped into this one in the chat room. 86 would be the next breakout. If you were looking to jump into this one on a pullback, I would look to place my stops probably the 50-day moving average, 77 cents. So a dip early on Monday to 77 cents would probably make for a nice little add with stops at, the 20-day at 73 cents if you got in there. Next logical move would be a move to that 91 to 95 cent area here. OPXT had a nice little bounce back on Friday on volume. 50-day moving average, 95 cents. 97 cent area would be the breakout here, and you could be looking for a move from 106 to 110. The indicators look pretty good here, so definitely one to keep an eye on for some follow through this week. HIMX got a nice spike late in the day on Friday. We got as high as 110, the breakout level on this one. Then they shook it back, closed it poorly, but this one looks locked and loaded for a run into CES this week. Like the chart, over 110, they will probably chase this one up to the 120s, so definitely keep a very close eye on this one. I actually picked up some more on that 110. Looked like it was going to break late in the day. Jamba Juice, JMBA, breakout 150, target 160 plus. YMI, Biotech, As you can see here, we're looking at a breakout at 170 here. Target on that breakout would be that recent high of 179 and then up there at the 195 area. An entry at $1.70, I'd probably look to place my stops 164, 165 here. Home builders continue to be on fire. HOV was a fantastic scalp from the pop scan on Friday. Continued breakout. Next resistance now is the 200-day moving average up there at 197. So just ride this baby. The other one, BZH, big breakout through the 200-day moving average. So this gives us an idea of what to expect on HOV. It broke through its 200-day moving average. And if we look, we're going to have to look at a one-year chart now just to get an idea on the breakout here. This break through $3, we're probably looking at next resistance level on BZH of that 325, 320, 325 area. So definitely will be a nice little trade on a breakthrough 3. And if I was jumping into this one on Monday on a breakthrough 3, I would look to place my stops 290, give it, or maybe even 295. It depends. This one has a wide intraday move just like HOV. So if you're going to play it, probably play it a little bit small with the stops that you need to have in place. Now, another home builder that looks pretty attractive for tomorrow is SPF, another home builder. Big volume over the last couple of days. Closed right at the breakout level on Friday, 344. Next resistance is up there at the 370. So you could be looking at 10% upside on this one. And again, this one has a wide intraday move. That's, part of the problem on some of these breakout plays. They have really wide breakouts. So if you were jumping in on a 340 break, maybe 335 would be your stops on this one. 370 is target. COWN. This is a financial, has an interesting chart for this week. 275 could give a move up there to 285 to $3 level. If I jumped in on a 275 break, I would keep pretty tight stops on this one. 267 to 270. It's probably about as much room as I would give it. IMMU, definitely one to keep an eye on tomorrow. 347 would be the breakout here. Target is the 365, the 200-day moving average. At entry at 347, I would place my stops 340, 341. That was the resistance we met on Friday, which is why we'd use that as our stop point. ARAY, 455 break, 480. Well, what did I put here on the 455 break? 475. Here's a quick lesson. Sometimes you'll wonder where we come up with targets on stock when there's or on charts when there's no logical area. Like on some stocks, usually we look at the moving averages, 200-day moving average, 50-day moving average. Case in point being, let's look at HOV, where I said the 200-day moving average, which is this red line, would be the target. That's typically a point. Moving averages are typically where stocks run into resistance. But on a chart like ARAY, where the moving averages are way up there and it had a big gap down, sometimes you'll see a lot of the same targets on the stocks I'll put. Like a break of 3, I'll say the target is 320. On a break of 4, I'll say the target's 420. On a break of 1, we'll say the target is 110. The reason you see those targets most of the time is they end up being psychological resistance levels. Like if a stock breaks 1, it'll typically run to $1.10. Likewise, when a stock breaks 450 area, 475, 480 tends to be a psychological resistance, and many times a 475 break will give you a move to $5. So that's why we have targets like that. And while there is really little resistance over that 455 break, 475 is where I would have my first target on this one. So just a quick little lesson on targets there. EXEL, what do we have as breakout here? $5 break, 512, which was the recent high, and then 525 to 550. Now this one is one you'll often hear me say the breakout is 5, but you could get some intraday movement on this one, and this is a nice little flaggy breakout here. So a gap on Monday, especially if volume is behind it, might be worthwhile getting into this one ahead of time on the break. And if you do that, you place your stops at the Friday close if you enter ahead of the breakout. SIMG, Silicone Image, breakout 520, as you can see right here, it's the recent or previous December high and the 50-day moving average. So a break through that 520 level, and there's not a whole lot of resistance until you get up to that 560, 580 zone. If I waited for a break of 520, I would probably keep my stops at 510. Now, this is one that if it sees continuation, because volume is really strong on this one on Friday. Again, this might be one, if it got a breakthrough 505, 510 Monday morning, it might be worthwhile getting in early with $5 stops just because of this setup. And this one, I believe, is one that could possibly be a CES play, just like the next one that's on the pop scan, HLIT, Harmonic. This one also tends to run around CES as well. Breakout on this one is 530. Target is a move up to that recent December high of 562. If I jumped in on a 530 break, I would place my stops at 520. And again, this is another one where if you look to get into this one earlier, maybe even a 520 break, I would place my stops at the Friday low if I jumped into this one earlier. Last but not least, we've got BRCD. This one, has been on the pop scan for almost every other day for the last several months. I mean, we've essentially been playing this one on and off for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. Another potential symmetrical triangle breakout here. 552 really is the breakout, and it could give a move to 566, and then above that, 575 to $6 is not out of the question. And this one has a positive MACD cross, likely tomorrow or Tuesday, and stochastics look strong. So this one could be a nice little mover over the next couple of days. So that's it for the pop scan for tomorrow. Any questions, shoot me an email, feedback@buysellshort.com.net. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the chat room. Goodbye.